If you're buying a condo in Kelowna in 2026, there are 4 things that you absolutely need to get right. Get these things wrong, and you could end up overpaying, buying in the wrong building, or worse, stuck in a condo that you can't sell. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly what I would do if I were buying a condo right now. These are the same 4 things that separate buyers who love their new home from buyers who don't. I'm Mark with KelownaCondos.ca. Let's get started. Here's the first thing I would do. I would get crystal clear on the lifestyle that I want before I look at a single listing. I'm not talking about the bedrooms and the bathrooms. I'm talking about how you want to live your day-to-day life. Your vacation routine, it might be different than your daily routine. In my opinion, this is where most buyers make their biggest mistake. They pick a neighborhood based on what sounds good, not what actually matches their routine. Let me give you an example. I had a couple relocating from Calgary. They told me they wanted to be in downtown Kelowna. They wanted to be walking distance to everything, lake views, the whole package. But when we started talking about what they like to do, they told me that they're huge into outdoor sports, that they love walking to get coffee, and they rarely go out after 9 p.m. We ended up looking at townhomes in the Lower Mission instead. Sports equipment requires storage, so a garage should probably be high on their list. Lower Mission is close to the lake and biking trails. It has a quieter feel, and honestly, I thought it would be a better fit for them. We ended up finding them a great home with a lot more square footage and storage. So here's what I would do. I would sit down and I would write out my routine. Where do I want to spend my time? What do I want to do on weekends? Am I walking to cafes and restaurants, or am I driving to hiking trails and golf courses? In Kelowna, each neighborhood might come with a different lifestyle. Downtown Kelowna is energetic and walkable. Your steps from dozens of cafes, breweries, and entertainment. Lower Mission is a relaxed lakeside community. Quiet beaches, bike paths like the Mission Creek Greenway, and a chill vibe are a few of the things that make it popular. South Pandosy is kind of like a little lakeside village. There are tree-lined streets, boutique shops, and popular beaches like Gyro. It's a great alternative to downtown. Glenmore is mostly families, retirees, or young professionals. It's pretty quiet and it's still close to everything. And here's the thing. If you get this wrong, moving is a pain, and it's expensive. You probably don't want to move in 6 months, so get really clear on your lifestyle before you find a home. The second thing I would do is I would completely ignore the amenities when I'm touring condo buildings. I know that sounds crazy. The fancy gym, the rooftop patio, and the pool sound great. But here's what I've learned after doing this for 24 years. The buildings with the most amenities usually have the highest strata fees, and most people stop using those amenities after 6 months. I can't tell you how many clients have told me that they use the pool a few times when they first move in, and then that's it. And they never use the party room. But they are paying an extra $200 a month for it. So here's what I would do instead. I would focus on 3 things: the location, the layout of the unit, and the building's financial health. Once the honeymoon's over, those 3 things will probably matter more than a rooftop patio with a barbecue. Location is obvious. Like we just talked about, you want to get the lifestyle right. Condo layout means, does the floor plan work for how you live? Is the kitchen functional? Is there enough storage? And is the layout weird? A super long living room is hard to furnish. I've shown condos with 800 square foot patios with no shade. At first glance, it looks great. But the truth is, unless you're a lizard, it's not very practical. A well-designed 1,100 square foot condo often feels bigger than a poorly laid out 1,300 square foot one. And building financial health is huge, but often overlooked. When is the last time they did a depreciation report? How much is in the reserve fund? I would make sure that the building isn't going to hit me with a huge special assessment in a few years. To me, this is more important than a hot tub, because I don't want to pay high strata fees and I don't want to pay special levies. Don't get me wrong. Some people absolutely want a pool because they'll use it. Unused amenities, though, are just a waste of money. The third thing I would do is I would embrace being the different buyer. Let me explain what I mean. A lot of buyers want the same condo that everybody else wants. Great finishes, on a high floor with a lake view, all the bells and whistles. These condos are out there, but you're going to pay a lot for them. Here's the reality. The best value in Kelowna right now is in the condos that buyers are overlooking. I'm talking about a condo in a similar building with just a little less hype, or a ground floor unit with a walkout patio. Maybe it faces the mountain instead of the lake, or it's in a building that's 20 years old, but it's well maintained and has a strong strata council. I worked with a client last year who wanted a west-facing two-bedroom condo with a lake view and a budget up to $1 million. Everything in her budget that had a west-facing lake view either needed major work or the strata fees were close to $1,000. I ended up showing her a condo that faced southeast instead of southwest in a building that was on her list. There was still a view, and it was $200K cheaper than the west-facing unit that sold in the same building. Same building, same square footage, same finishes, just $200,000 less. She bought it, and she absolutely loves it. She told me because of the sun, she uses the patio way more than she would have used it if it was facing west. So here's what I would do. I would figure out what everybody else wants, and then I would look for something a little different. Not worse, just different, because that's where the value is in this market. Right now, inventory is high, buyers have a lot of options, and there are a lot of sellers out there that really want to sell. The fourth and final thing I would do, I would work with somebody who specializes in condos. Not somebody who shows you condo units, somebody who knows condo buildings. I'm not saying this because I sell condos. I'm saying this because buying a condo is completely different than buying a house. You're not just buying a home, you're buying into a corporation. You need to pay close attention to the strata documents. I've seen some files over 500 pages. You need to understand depreciation reports and reserve fund studies. You need to know what red flags to look for in the building financials. How much money should be in the contingency fund? Why did they defer maintenance? How come the strata fees are high compared to other and similar buildings? Most realtors think I'm crazy for focusing on condos. They prefer houses, but they sell condos and farms too. If you're spending $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 or more, you deserve someone who does this every single day. If you want to buy a brand new Ford, you probably don't go to the Honda dealership. So here's what I would do first if I was looking for a condo. When talking to agents, I would ask them a few simple questions about condos. How many condos versus houses do you sell? What do you look for in a depreciation report? Can you explain what the reserve fund is, and how do you tell if the building's well managed? If they can't answer these questions with confidence, they might not be the right fit. At the end of the day, you want someone you can trust who knows condos, because the difference between a good condo and a bad condo often comes down to the details in the strata documents. So let me recap the 4 things I would do if I were buying a condo in Kelowna today. Number 1, I would get crystal clear on my lifestyle before I start looking. Number 2, I would ignore the amenities and focus on location, layout, and building finances. Number 3, I would embrace being the open-minded buyer and look where others aren't. And number 4, I would work with somebody who knows condos. Want to hit the easy button on finding a condo that works for you? Shoot me a message, because condos are my thing. You can also use the booking link in the description below. We'll talk about your situation, what you're looking for, and I'll give you my honest advice. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.